Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are going to take the Dory Wrecker for a spin and just take care of some of the lighter tow requests around the map. Actually, honestly, I would have preferred to go with Golima Rotator because I can see that it's likely going to be the more desired vehicle to show off right now. But honestly, I'm currently lacking the kind of jobs that make it worthwhile using. So I thought I'd just sort out some of the other jobs around the map, and we are going to then use the rotator in an upcoming episode. So this is basically prep work, and honestly I also like the Dory too much to not use it. Even though it's weirdly bouncy, I don't know what's up with that. And yeah, we are also a few testing versions into the update. It still seems to be kind of unstable. We are always getting told with every sub-update to back up the save file. I'm not really doing that because I'm not on my real main character here. This is basically a backup, and I know how to get another copy of this if I need to, so I'm pretty much sorted out here. But yeah, a few things changed in the meantime. First up, the Golima rotator. It got made a bit lighter. Used to be 39 tons and change. Now it's down by 11 tons, so it's more like 28. Few people had some opinions about it. I felt that for the most part the Golima was fine as it was. I really don't like its fuel capacity though, so that in my opinion needs an update. Especially since everything else is that the thing can do is running off a fuel tank. But yeah, for the most part I didn't mind it, and I tried finding out what the actual way it should be, and I couldn't get any concrete data on this from my research. But a few people pointed out that realistically it should be lighter, so that's what we got now. Alright, here we go. The Fox should be a pretty light vehicle to transport, so nothing too crazy. If I need to, I can come back for the Mammoth there, but that might be on the heavier side here. But yeah, the Golima being made a bit lighter is one thing. They also have done a few updates to help multiplayer performance. There seems to be something going on with car desync and how much data every single vehicle requires. So that can put a strain on what the server can do. And just fixing the odd bugs here and there. I reported a few, I found out a few things, but they all seem to be getting addressed, which is nice. I've also seen on the Trello that they are working on rebalancing the payout for the Wrecker jobs, just making them a bit more fitting for the kind of effort that you are putting in. I actually submitted something regarding that. So there should be distance pay based on the actual roads in the future. An additional distance pay based on the distance from the road to the actual vehicle. So if it's an off-road recovery, yeah, getting to the road is quite a lot more difficult than getting to the garage when you are on the road, so that should be paying quite a bit more. Also, when the vehicle is tilted over, it should be giving a huge flat-out bonus. Or more like, maybe also based on how much the rest would be paying out. But yeah, usually you're getting damages from the vehicle being tipped over, and it also takes more time. So that should also give quite a bit of a bonus. And that's of course while we are still also getting the existing weight bonus for how heavy the vehicle is. So that's all pretty nice, and that should be hopefully coming in an update sooner or later. I've seen on the Discord that there are actually some other factors that could be at play and should be considered. And people have made suggestions about them um, over the past few months. Honestly, I don't remember ever seeing any of those, but there are good suggestions, so there could be a further details later down the line, or maybe they can even put this into the current update. The thing is, when I made the post about updating the payouts to what I just described to you, I didn't really know the other things, so yeah, couldn't really get any of those down into the suggestion. But yeah, it doesn't mean that that's gonna be the end point. I just hope that they do an update to that, because even the stuff that I suggested would be a good improvement on what we have here. Everything else could be the cherry on top. But yeah, that's the one thing. Another thing I wanted to talk about before we get into another huge change, which I cannot really show you guys right now. When it comes to my character here, the save file I'm playing on, well, it's not really the one that I've been using for the last bit, for the past few episodes of the regular playthrough, not the NoTP stuff. I'm trying to avoid cars, but the thing that God, you may not really notice it too much, but the Jeep that I'm pulling right now, it kind of gets me to sway a lot, and it's not really amazing. Honestly, this truck is maybe not that great on the highway. At high speeds, it's a bit unstable, it feels like. But for everything on Jeju Island specifically, this is amazing. Anyways, back to the whole save file stuff. I'm not using the one that I've been using for the past few episodes of the regular playthrough. That one was up to date. This one is actually quite a bit behind. I only got this one because I submitted it for a bug report a while ago. So when I went back onto this PC, I didn't have any type of usable character here, but I could just re-download this one. So I don't have all the cars and all the tuning that I did on the on my main character as of late, but at least I have most of the money, most of the levels, and that means that I could at least get into the rotator, buy it, outfit it with whatever I want. So I have a lot of the stuff, but it's really not all up to date. So whatever I'm doing here today, once I get back onto my regular PC, everything that I'm doing right now will be gone. This is really only for the video. And there's also a lot of stuff that I don't have, because the game is essentially having two save files. One for your character, meaning money, levels, cars, and then also the world save file, and that's the one that I don't have. So on this map, unless I bought it again, I don't have any properties. I'm actually running around with quite a few large parking lots, so if I ever go to a place, I buy the location. I decided to just put down one of the parking lots just so that I have something there. But apart from the starter house, which I think comes from another character which I've overwritten with my backup, there aren't really any buildings on the properties. It's only parking lot each, and that's gonna do it. And also, I'm missing all the inventory in my different industry locations and everything. On my other, on the regular playthrough, for a long time I just had a lot of company trucks do some container deliveries just to max out storage at the warehouses and get a lot of other things set up, like different other factories that just need the containers, and that's all gone now. The reason I'm mentioning it in depth is because I would like to show you stuff about Santa's cabin, but without me having set up factories and that kind of thing, it's a bit tough. Because Santa's cabin needs I think either containers or regular pallets, but also, and that's something that it needs in any case, toy pallets. Meaning that my toy factory needs, I think it also needs containers and definitely plastic, and that means my plastic factory needs to be producing, and therefore anything to do with a refinery needs to be taken care of, and I don't have anything like that now. So while I set up some of my company trucks to run again, and half of them are just doing regular stuff. So I actually have two for the refinery and oil delivery. I have two Lobos for supermarket stuff, and I have my usual six buses. But yeah, everything else I need to take care of myself, so part of the reason why I'm doing this right now is so that the game is running, stuff is happening, and once I try to get the cabin supplied, I should everything else ready to go, hopefully. Okay, that was at least worthwhile. 14k for this is not too shabby. Let's see, do we have anything else? There were actually quite a few in this area. What's this one? I don't know if I can get there. It's likely off the cliff somewhere. Lilliput is also maybe a bit too heavy. Another one over here. Matey. Yeah, there's a lot of mid-weight trucks and that kind of stuff. SV200. Towny bus might be alright, but I don't know how to really get there unless I cut through the scenery here. So I'm gonna have to see about that. I mean, I should get something going because there's a whole another topic I would like to talk about. And ideally for that, I would like to be on this island because... Oh. Yeah, let's go for this one. You may have already seen it. I'm a suspect, of course. No, but the thing I wanted to talk about here, they changed the grass texture, and I think this is actually the second iteration. The first one had a lot more stuff going on, it was a bit more busy, but the one thing I liked from that was the overall darker ground tones. This one is maybe a bit too bright in my opinion, I liked the darker version a bit more. I hate police. Stop being stupid and arrest me. Okay, now he's going there. You know what? To cut this short, I'm just going to relog into the session. Because that's just way too stupid in order to keep up with. So yeah, they changed the ground textures and people had some mixed opinions. I think the whole thing needs a bit getting used to. The first iteration, I mean, it was still better in my opinion than all the perfectly flat colors like over here. This really looks like some edgy Play-Doh in my opinion. Something that is a bit more, that has something going on in terms of texture is kind of nice. But yeah, the first iteration, it was maybe a bit too crisp looking and, well, still with everything else around it, this is a bit of a contrast. But I guess the textures here are also going to get an update sooner or later, so this is likely the first step in a process and not the end result. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what we are going to get. Did it really just despawn the vehicle that I wanted? Oh, bloody hell. What do we have here? Tronco might be a bit too heavy, but you know what, at this point I'm going for it. I just want something to do over here so that we can take in the new scenery. So I think compared to everything else, it still looks a bit out of place, but that might be because everything else still needs that kind of update. Once you get used to it, I believe it's still a massive upgrade to what it was before. But overall, I think I would still like something that's a bit less busy and also maybe a bit darker overall. But in the end, right now, I think they are doing a pretty good job with it, so it doesn't necessarily need to change any further. Just gonna see what else they are going to do with the other different textures. So at this point, I wouldn't call it a big deal, at least not in my eyes. But I get that other people have other opinions, especially with such a big change. I like how they have it on OG Island, where it's basically it's more like flat colors, but there are a few of them mixed between each other. So there is a bit of stuff going on, but nothing that really looks anything like this. More like the ground below the field over there. I think that might be a good look for the game. Okay, let's see. This one is a bit problematic. Even as it is, I couldn't put it back onto its wheels because it would likely end up just on the rock over there. But I'm gonna try it anyways. I hope it will just slide off and then stay on the wheels, and to do that I'm going to approach it from this end. Yeah, this might be a bit problematic. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to take the winch and I'll put it on this part over here. Very low, but closer to the underside. So hopefully if I pull on the winch now, it should end up pulling the entire thing along, and then once it's closer, pulling this part upwards, and that will hopefully help me. So let's see. You know what, I don't even need the winch controller anymore. I can do it all from here, which is nice. So let's pull it in and see what happens. Okay, I expected this much, and this means I can now also show you guys another trick. Since the vehicle has a front winch, I'm just going to attach it to the ground. This one actually needs the winch controller to just tighten up the winch, and this means our truck shouldn't be going anywhere, even if it's pulling on a much heavier vehicle. I don't really like how close the thingies here are to the door, because I'm always just running into problems getting into the car instead of using them. So let's see. Okay, this is a little problem. The thing is, since the cable doesn't have any collision, it's just going straight through. And what I would really like right now is if I could pull first up the winch cable straight with this one reacting to it, so it would be lifting up already. Maybe I'm too close to the entire thing, but maybe not. This is a massive truck to deal with for this little vehicle here. Okay, I think it's now leaning on my own truck, so that's not amazing. Let's attach it to this corner and then see what we can do here. Okay, this is helping. But I'm not entirely sure if the entire thing is going to stay like this. Because now I need to unhook and get the hook in somewhere lower. Because as you can see, there is no way for me to get this any further. Can't I get the hook directly? Pick up item, that's the one. Okay, it fell down again. This might not be working. Or maybe I just need to go in from the other side. So let's cut the winch cable and drive around. Hopefully I can make it work from there. This is really not the best thing I could be doing with this truck, but I really don't want to go over to Oldley right now. I should maybe just despawn some of the vehicles there because it's kind of getting ridiculous. Okay, we're now getting dragged across the floor, so once again, you know what, I'm going to try and drive this actually. Ah, nice. Okay, maybe I can drag it a bit further forward because I would like it to not tip over again. That seems to have done the trick. So let's cut the cable and get this hooked up. I don't expect this will be a smooth operation. This is way too heavy of a truck in order for this to work out nicely. But I hope we don't need to go too far. Okay, we got a connection. Let's see if I can get it out of here. It's kind of moving. Okay, and this is a problem because I'm now kind of stuck in here. And yeah, I need the front of the truck to lift up in order to have it not completely choose where I need to go. Because yeah, if all the wheels are just pointing this direction and yeah, everything is on the ground, then I don't really have much of leverage here. But yeah, now that the front wheels don't have that much ground contact, I can steer. So this should be alright. Oh yeah, this isn't even all that bad. This is working. I'm glad I'm only doing this for a short distance though, because otherwise this would be hell. Especially when trying to go faster. Also gotta say something, I don't usually like to report to trolls or anything. I mean, with me being German, having a German accent and all of that, I get the occasional comment about other Germans saying that, yeah, I should just not try with English anymore. It's been a thing for a whole long time. I usually either ignore them or tell them to go somewhere else because, well, I'm not gonna change anything here. I'm going to try improving my my English, but it's not always easy, especially with everything else going on in my life right now. I don't have much energy for that kind of stuff. But I just want to say that screw you for trying to go left there. And also, really, I'm kinda happy that I'm not speaking German in these videos, because then those people who are really leaving these unpleasant comments, they would be sticking around. And I would really be shooting myself in the foot if I try to make videos for those kind of people. I'm glad they leave their nasty comments, move on, and leave me the hell alone. Just wanted to point that out. Honestly, I would have also liked to make a bit more money from that, but yeah, the truck was already damaged as it is, and yeah, I hope the future improvements to the payouts are going to properly address this. What else do we have here? A Lobo with 6 ton. Just a single vehicle. I thought I saw one with a trailer earlier, but that might have been somewhere else. That's a townie. Eastwood trailer on its own. I don't know. Oh, there's a coma, but there's another long trip. I don't want to do another long trip here. And Neo. Matey, I think that one is upside down. Oh, another fox. Yeah, that will do it. Just gonna teleport over there. While we are at it, we might as well refuel. I wish the truck had slightly larger fuel tanks. Like this thing is chugging it like nothing. Then again, I'm doing quite a lot of work with it. So let's just teleport over here. On the other save file, we would of course expect a building to be here, but, well, not on this one. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how it works out for the next episode. I think I saw some tow requests with a trailer attached. I would ideally want to have a Golima rotator as a truck that I need to transport. I actually tried in the past, but I wasn't really awake enough to do any recording on the matter. And at 39 tons, the Golima rotator is a really tough tow rescue vehicle to deal with, even with another rotator. So at 28 it should be a bit better, I hope. So let's see, this one should once again be an easy one. And it's also very short of a distance, so I don't expect that much money from this. Just 100k, easy. Now we can be happy if we make like 3k with this, I think. Screw you, ghosts. I would like to disable you if I could. I'm more in a literal sense than... No, I'm not gonna go there. Oh, 6k, almost 7. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, I think they may have adjusted the payouts a bit already, because they used to be pretty awful for towing. So... let us see how a more in-depth system looks and what numbers it produces. But I think for a few of the jobs around the map there just need to be a few more factors. Like distance pay for trash collection, that kind of deal. Should we try that one? I mean, it sounds like a bad idea and I'm pretty sure it is, but... hey, we are pretty close to the end of the episode, so why not? Why not blow it out of proportion with something that we should have just left alone here? And yeah, you may have already noticed inside the towns and other busy areas, my frame rate is kind of suffering a little bit, so that's also why I was considering to maybe not make videos on this. The main reason though was that I had some really weird thing going on with shadows, and I just managed to disable it. So no shadows around here anywhere, which doesn't really look that great either, but better than if my character is always shrouded in darkness for some unknown reason. But yeah, I'll be glad once I'm back on my regular PC and don't have to deal with the graphical downgrade like this. This kinda looks pretty awful in a few ways, and it's absolutely not down to the game. This is just me running on very low settings because the whole PC issue. Although at this point I'm also considering to maybe, once I've done the last few steps that I can still do in order to try and fix it, if the PC doesn't work again after that, I may look into getting another one pre-assembled. So that if that stupid thing also runs into problems, I can just pack up the entire thing and send it back to wherever it came from. Because the whole manual aspect of building a PC, while that's alright, if I ever have to send something back, having individual packages for everything, needing to disassemble it, put it all back together into the box it came in, it's not great. And I would really like to make this somebody else's problem, because at this point I'm sick and tired of dealing with it myself. But hey, gotta see how all of this goes. I'm not ready to throw it out the window. I mean, in terms of mood, yes, but realistically, there are a few more things I can try to make it work again. Oh, God. Yeah, this is what happens if you take on a vehicle that's definitely not really in your weight range. But yeah, right now from what I've seen, most of the vehicles in the game can still be dealt with using only the Brutus, so that's still kinda neat, and that's gonna be useful for the majority of jobs here, including this one. Or even just the Polio. But that doesn't really help if I want to make episodes on new vehicles. Come on. Oh, it actually needs to go the other direction. I'm an idiot. I mean, this just works, and I mean just in barely. And yeah, I'm not driving into oncoming traffic on purpose, it's just very hard to do anything else with this. But yeah, if you have a decent amount of regular sized vehicles to transport, and maybe not go across the islands where you really want to travel fast, this vehicle is pretty good. And yeah, you can do heavier stuff than that. I wouldn't recommend, but well, nothing stopping you, nothing stopping me apart from the trees and everything else on the side of the road. Or if I go into oncoming traffic at the wrong moment because the other vehicle is pushing me. But overall, nothing stopping me from at least attempting this. So that's kinda cool. Did we get any new cars over here? It's always interesting to see what they are putting out onto this parking lot. And yeah, also there have been quite a few changes with the scenery around here. More trees and that kind of stuff, so that's pretty nice. I wish I just had the other character or the other PC that I could just enjoy it a bit more. Okay, gonna quickly go into autopilot. Oh god, it's accelerating. I don't like this accelerating. Okay, that one is empty. That one is going north. What does it have loaded? It has oil, that's nice. Some of them just load up fuel for the drilling place. There's really nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could theoretically, and that might be a good move since I'm using two trucks now. I could use one to just go between only drilling and the refinery. So that could also transport um, the fuel back to the drilling place until that's full because I'm not using the additional accelerated thing there. And the other one could just be going back and forth between the refinery and the plastic factory. So that would then always load the oil instead of fuel any time. Oh, I've driven past that thing. We're not going to the heavy duty dealership. We're going to the tow trucking place, of course. Yeah, the past few weeks have been rough and I'm not really that focused today, which you may have noticed already. So that's also why I've kind of been not recording anything yesterday, because it would have been much worse than this, so... But yeah, I think I should have enough stuff going now that next time I can do some deliveries for the cabin and all of that. I'd like to do some back-to-back recording. I'll have to see. I'm still waiting for a package from my family, which It's kind of a whole thing because I really have been telling them to not send me anything, and they may have taken it as I don't need anything from you, but sure, if you want to. No, I don't want anything. Because this means now staying around waiting for the package to arrive, and I don't want that because first up, I'm recording. I don't know if the delivery guy is going to come and basically interrupt the recording. I need to buy some groceries, so I'm gonna go out in a moment and that kind of thing. And really, I don't need anything from them, so I just wanna chill. Not have to worry about going to the toilet and then the delivery guy is going to come and I'm not going to be able to take the package. Some of them don't even wait. Like, they may ring once and by the time I'm at the door to activate the speaker system downstairs, then they're already gone and it's a shit show. But yeah, I of course appreciate the gesture, but the real good gesture would have been to ask me beforehand if I want any packages or just not send me anything. Instead of calling me up at some point and just saying, hey, we sent you something, might be arriving today. Too late for that, it's gonna come at some point and I'm gonna have to see if I'll be here for that. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. A little rant aside. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, have a good one, and bye bye.